On this week's episode of Keeping It Real, Cam sees a new hummingbird at his feeder, and he wonders how it got there.
There's a hummingbird at my feeder right now. It's a male, ruby-throated hummingbird, according to the reference guide that we keep near the window. He's our third of the year. The first arrived in March. My bird probably migrated from Mexico or Central America, flew over the Gulf of Mexico, and arrived on the Alabama shores before he finally got a break. His heart beat at over 1,200 beats a minute during the flight. And I'm curious how Wikipedia knows the heart rate of a migrating hummingbird over the Gulf, by the way. Regardless, I expect that land was a wonderful sight when the Alabama shores finally appeared. He's stopping off at my house in Mobile for a few days, gorging on my homemade nectar, and then we'll continue north. I'm amazed that something so tiny and something so delicate can fly so far without stopping, without eating. Pre-flight, all they consume is nectar. It's like me jogging across the nation after chugging a few Gatorades. It's unbelievable. I guess they just decide to do it. It's what they do. Speaking of huge efforts, my wife told me that Jimmy and Rosalind Carter will be married 75 years in July. You don't hear things like that much anymore, she said, which is true. Mainly because most people don't stay alive that long. He's 96. He's rivaling a Galapagos tortoise. And unless Galapagos tortoises mate for life, Jimmy and Rosalind may be the oldest living couple. She's 94, by the way. The only way to stay married 75 years is 1, stay alive a long time, and 2, decide you're in it for the long haul. Say it out loud and live like you mean it. It's what they decided to do. Back in the day, I'd roll my eyes at the so-called happiness experts who gave speeches and led workshops to corporate groups on how to be happy. Happy people work harder and get along with each other better and are better teammates and all that. So the time spent teaching people how to be happy paid off for the company and, of course, for each individual, him or herself. But I was skeptical. There has to be more to it than what they were teaching. Being happy is complex. It involves a mixture of brain chemicals and the good luck of having the right DNA. Except for some rare moments, happiness is largely out of our individual control. But I was wrong. It's a decision. My mother's one of the happiest people I know. She recently shared some quotes that she's collected over the years, written on small, square pieces of paper that she rotates through a deck. One is just 4 words long. Happiness is a decision. Say it out loud and live like you mean it. Just decide. That quote sits on my windowsill, and I see it whenever I look out at a newly arrived hummingbird. I'm Cam Marston, and I'm just trying to keep it real.
To hear more commentaries, search for Keeping It Real with Cam Marston on your favorite podcast app, or follow Cam Marston on social media.